Okay, Cancer, it's your turn. Happy birthday. Let's go ahead and let's see what's up with you for July. We're doing July because we're just that far along. Everything you need to know is in the description box of the video, including how you can look up your natal chart to figure out what your rising moon and Venus sign are. You need to know what time you were born in order to figure out your rising sign. We're going to use the Lover's Path Tarot for you. We're going to do Celtic Cross, and we're going to clarify using the Deviant Moon Tarot. I can't remember. It's been a little bit. I had to take the weekend off. Yeah, I had to take the weekend off. There was a thing, not a little thing, a big thing. But my best friend's mom passed away on Friday morning, and it was a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a big deal for her. It's a big deal for me. It's my childhood best friend. So big deal. But let's go ahead and let's check out your stuff. We're going to also use the Rebel deck for some no bullshit advice. Her birthday was actually yesterday. So she passed away just shy of her 65th birthday. So yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and we're going to also do some magnetic poetry to start. So get out a pen and a piece of paper, and you can pause it if you need to, and we'll go ahead and we'll have you write down all the words that come out in the magnetic poetry so that you can figure out what messages there are for you from this big box of magnetic poetry that I have here. Gigantic box of it. So let's see, for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what are the hidden messages for you for July 2025? Not a lot. An S. This is what I got for you for your messages. You can hit the pause button. And I'll hang out here with these for a couple of seconds. Don't mind my nails. I'm not getting my nails done. We're going to do Celtic Cross. And like I had said before, we're going to clarify using the Deviant Moon Tarot for you. Don't know why. There we go. Don't know why that went super dark there for a second, but it did. Weird. But we're going to use the Lover's Path Tarot for you. I'm going through all my decks and just using whichever ones. I'm not going to get rid of any of them, but I haven't been feeling super inspired by the decks that I've been using. So I like to kind of go through them. They're all loosely based on the Rider-Waite Tarot. And we've already been shuffling for a bit here, so we're going to go ahead and we'll twist for fairness. And very decisive, very decisive. Okay, present energy for you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Almost said Aquarius. Okay, so Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, present energy for you. I only take flippers and jumpers, maximum of 3. We have to start with the world card. Endings, transformation, beginning, cycles are ending so that new things can begin. All these cards are loosely based on like lovers, the stories of lovers and stuff like that. But here we have cycles completing, a feeling of wholeness or finishing something out. Something about the story of Dionysus and Ariadne. The irony isn't lost on me. My best friend's name is Adrian, and her mom's Cancer. She's an Aquarius. But the story of Dionysus and Ariadne. What do you say here? But the story of that might be prevalent for you. You can look it up if you need to. But current situation for you, Cancer, is something is finishing out, something is ending, a cycle is completing. And it's necessary in order for new things to form and for to everything, turn. There is a season, right? Turn. And a time to every purpose unto heaven. So it's, in traditional Rider-Waite, you see this is the snake that has the head and it's eating its tail. And it is a never-ending cycle and circle, and I think that's what you're experiencing right now, Cancer, is cycles and circles ending so that new things can begin, and so things begin again after they end again. We'll clarify. What's crossing you right now is the sun in the reverse, a wish not granted, or perhaps a period of darkness and delay. The sun in the upright is about wishes being granted in a time of things coming to light, but this is a time of darkness, a time of night as opposed to daytime. A time of gestation, absolutely. I kind of feel like it's the time when the seed is under the ground so that it can germinate before it springs forth into the sunlight. So wishes not being granted at this time is an obstacle for you, and perhaps that's why you've decided to end something. If you're the one who's manifesting an ending of sorts, is because there is a need for taking things into a sleep state, a hibernation of sorts. It's not the time to grant wishes, or perhaps you found that something isn't being granted for you, so it's time to nip something in the bud. Something isn't coming to fruition, a wish isn't being granted, something isn't coming to light as you would like it to, things aren't as fruitful as you would like them to be. And so that's kind of where you're at with that. The warmth isn't there. It's a time of coldness, a period of coldness. And that is your obstacle in the current. We will clarify some of these. In your crowning position, top of mind for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. By the way, that's a Leo card, opposite of Leo, so Aquarius season. Aquarius season. If I was doing timings, something that happened during Aquarius season could be super important or poignant or prevalent that has to do with an obstacle or something stopping for you. That has to do with why you cannot begin something, or why something isn't moving forward or has to transform or end. Or is you're seeing something moving into completion, but the obstacle to something moving into completion faster is because there's something that's not yet come to light. Anyway, top of mind for you, crowning you, coming from above. What's apparent in the situation in your current circumstances? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. It's a time of moving forward. There is something that you need to move on from or move forward from. This is leaving something behind to move into a time of prosperity where there has been ruin in the past. Or you see how he's gathered up here. They call the arrows the swords in this deck. So don't confuse it with wands. Wands are actually staves in this deck. But here we have them called arrows, 6 of arrows. So this is movement forward. Trip over water, trip over land, over seas. But there's something here. So, sorry, just that things are getting my attention lately. They will be, but there's nobody else living here right now. The neighbors upstairs moved out. So if I'm hearing sounds, I'm going to get a little weird. I mean, minus the neighbors and kids playing outside perpetually. But yeah, a trip over seas, a trip over water, moving on from something, leaving something in the past that no longer serves you, so you can move on to, for lack of a better term, greener pastures. Hidden from your awareness, hidden from your awareness, the Page of Coins. Unconscious is something in your subconscious, but hidden from your awareness at this time, lurking from below. We have the Page of Coins. This is a communication about effort, time, material worth. Something coming that's a communication about an offer or about your worth. Communications about your worth. Communications about your worth. Often when we see this, I always think it's like, well, for what it's worth, or, you know, it's worth a shot. But this is also communications about your worth. What's worth your time, what's worth your energy, what's worth your effort, and potentially people communicating your worth to you. In the recent past, that it's a communication. It could also be somebody communicating an offer to you, hidden from your awareness, but it could also be something that's lurking beneath your subconscious about your worth, wishing that somebody would communicate your worth, especially there with the Sun card. Yearning for that. But the obstacle is that it's not happening in the recent past for you. The communication actually here, the communication which you're not aware of, is that there is a deep, invisible communication about your worth that you're not aware of. The recent past for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The 3 of coming out of heartbreak, healing a heartbreak. I mean, it's very straightforward thus far. Like I said, we're probably going to have to clarify, but it's a healing heartbreak of some sort, coming out of a heartbreak. There was some deep, painful thing here that hit your emotions, but also hit your intellect, hit your heart space deep. And that was in the recent past, something that was harrowing and heartbreaking. It was healing for you. It was something that you were healing. In the near future for you, I usually like to say that this is a 2 weeks out position, this next one here. I didn't mean to do that, but we take what we take. 9 of Coins in the reverse with the Strength card in the upright. Leo season. This is about pride. This is about attention seeking, attention grabbing, loss of temper, the inability to tame the inner beast. So linked to your own self-reliance, your inability to be self-reliant. Somebody could be losing their temper because they feel that they don't have the ability to be independent, to, you know, choose how to spend their time, to choose how to spend their money, to choose how to, where to direct their efforts of their own accord. But this is about maintaining your temper, and it's not necessarily like the buzzword of temper is always linked to temperance. But, you know, the strength card is about, again, taming the inner beast of anger and passion. And a lot of time that can also be righteous indignance with the strength card, but it's about maintaining that even keel, even though it's a struggle with that strength card. The strength card can also be, because it is a Leo card, we have to look at it from the perspective of other Leo traits, Leonian traits, such as, you know, are we a slave? Are we lacking the independence when it comes to our attention-seeking tendencies? I feel like this is a timing card, though, also. It could be heralding a loss of temper, but I think that it's also a timing card, because 2 weeks from now, we'll be approaching Leo season. I mean, we just entered Cancer season, so of course it's going to be probably like 3.5 weeks until we're in Leo season. But if you look here, it's that feeling that you're not in charge of your own time, your own, you know, energy, your own efforts, how you spend. Some frustration is growing there. An extension of the present for you, your environment right now, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so 9 of Swords in the reverse here. So you also, there's an alleviation of something for you as far as anxiety goes. Worry, sleepless nights. There's a feeling of peace that's come over you in the current time. If we were going to say this is an extension of the current energy and the current situation that you're in, you're putting an end to sleepless nights, worries, anxieties, the things that keep you up at night. But again, it's that feeling of peace, the alleviation of stress and worry. It's like the monkey on one's back here. The grief bed, the sick bed, coming out of that for you. The feeling of alleviating stress. There's been something that's been stressing you out and you're putting an end to it. How people view you, who surrounds you, and how they view you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus at this time. Okay. The Hanged Man. This is Piscean energy. Doesn't necessarily, it's not as, the portends that these dates, the symbolism isn't necessarily as close as what we would normally see it with things that are more closely based to the Rider-Waite. But here what we see is we see somebody who is, putting them in a position to where they're supposed to be able to see something from a different angle, from a different perspective. It's putting oneself in another person's shoes. Seeing something from a different viewpoint. And it's the choice to do so. So the way that people are viewing you at this point is that you're putting yourself in a position to survey things from different points of view so that you can better understand and better experience and better appreciate other people's situation. There's also like a pause button associated with that, though. Also, if you see here, she's going, hold on a second, wait, almost as if to say, before you act, take a look around. You know, take a look around. Is that Limp Bizkit? Take a look around. It's like that Mission Impossible theme-based thing. Take a look around. Or is that take a look in the mirror? I think it's take a look around. Yeah, but it's like, hold on a second. Take a look around before you act. Look around at everything that's going on. Experience the perspective of others before you act. People are seeing you do that, and it's giving them pause for thought, the fact that you're pausing and looking around and experiencing other people's perspectives instead of just kind of shooting off, or rather not shooting off from the mouth or shooting from the hip. You're being the observer right now intentionally, as opposed to having it thrust upon you. Hopes and fears. Hopes and fears for you, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. It's coming out quite smooth and fast. Judgment in the reverse. This is a decision being, like, that's like a key phrase that's coming up thrust upon you. A decision, it's either your hope or your fear that you're going to be forced to make a decision on something, like the decision is nigh, like you have to make the decision, or you've made a decision. Aries, Sagittarius energy on that. It's like it's like in the upright, the Judgment card in the upright is normally when you've made when you need to make a decision. Here, it's when you've made the decision and you're announcing your decision, you know. Reaping what one is sown. That can be a hope or a fear. I think for a lot of people, that's it can cut both ways, right? Hoping and fearing that you'll reap what you sow, unless you're a truly terrible person, right? I think that we all hope that, you know, the energy we put out there is worth something, but then we also have those little things where it's like that one crappy thing that I did that one time, or that one shitty thing that, you know. It's atonement, you know, but you're hoping that your atonement is going to be worth something in the end, or that it's going to be, your atonement's going to be gooder. Oh, man. Final cards for you, your outcome. I always do 3 for this, and this is something that I always see is 6 to 9 months out. What do we have? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And we did this in record time because your cards are just falling all over the place. So we'll have an opportunity to clarify whichever we feel drawn to clarify today. Outcome. Okay, we got 2 of them. The Page of Cups with the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Healing, alleviation from sickness, and something coming to an end. Some people also tend to think that this is moving back to the 9, which could be anxiety, worries, and sleepless nights, of course. But I always like to think that this is the sickness, the grief, the abandonment, the loss of the 10 of Swords lifting. Well, we get it in the reverse. You know, true healing is upon you in 6 to 9 months. With the Page of Cups, which is an apology, a small emotional communication coming to you. It is small, yet it is not without consequence. Could also be water sign children, if you have any. Yes, and you got a lot of swords here, so a lot of intellectual energy, a lot of being up in your head. But with it, we have the 4 of Swords in this deck, 4 of Arrows, which talks about meditation, rejuvenation, restoration, having the moment to really sleep something off under the tree after having suffered the slings and arrows of life, and in particular, the heartbreak of the 3 of Swords, taking the time to really rest, going within. This is a deep meditative, contemplative state where you are healing your heart space after some pain. It is a true rest. Okay, bottom of the deck for you. We have the Five of Cups in the reverse, the realization of gratitude. This is the need for gratitude and lamenting over what has been lost, while completely ignoring what still remains. Well, this is the realization of gratitude. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's clarify. We're using the Deviant Moon deck to clarify for you today. I thought that would be appropriate since you are ruled by the moon. We also have Sagittarius, I think a Sagittarius new moon coming, or sorry, we had a Sagittarius new moon, and we should have a Capricorn full moon coming up, I would think, but I might be wrong. It might be a Sagittarius full moon. I can't, I tried to do it, and you know what? I can't even remember. I've just been on autopilot, so I have been kind of listening to my astrology stuff, but I've also kind of been like, yeah, okay, get to the goods. So full disclosure on that one. But let's see here for you. Go look at your astrology. I think that was probably the big thing that I was trying to convey. Go look at your astrology. First, we're going to look here for your current circumstances. What is ending? What in particular is ending for you? And why is the obstacle the sun in the reverse? Okay, let's see. That one didn't want to go in. Okay. Okay. The sun in the reverse. The sun in the reverse is the obstacle, but the sun in the reverse is also the clarifier for your world in the upright. A wish not granted. You're ending something because a wish was not granted. You're also ending something because you're feeling cold. You're feeling left in darkness. There could be confusion here. Also, the sun in the reverse is the moon, right? Opposites. Something is the opposite of what you thought it would be. But the sun is down. The sun hasn't come up. The sun didn't rise. The sun didn't rise and set with something. So you ended up having to complete it or, say finito to it. Let's see what else. Tell me more. Why the sun in the reverse? Let's expand on that, please. I mean, I don't want to oversimplify. And that's why we're clarifying, right? Is because we don't want to oversimplify. Okay. King of Wands in the reverse. You got a Leo in the reverse. We have 3 Leo cards in the reverse here. Sun in reverse, and King of Wands in the reverse. Leo in the reverse. There's you're ending something with Leo, or you're ending something with completing a cycle with an Aquarius, or completing a cycle for an Aquarius. I just got massive fucking deja vu. Completing the circle with an Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. It's their turn. Completing a cycle, passing on a torch. But that King of Wands in the reverse is you're no longer, it's funny that I said that, passing on a torch. You see that? He's got the torch. That King of Wands in the reverse. King of Wands in the reverse is Leo energy, but it's not acting in its right element. It's somebody who's like a despot, a tyrant. Somebody who leads from a domineering place as opposed to like a domineering space instead of a dominant space. Although they are a leader, a tyrannical leader. somebody who doesn't budge in their ideals or in their ideas, but also somebody who is a fearmonger. Somebody that doesn't lead from a place of confidence, leads with fear. There could also be a disconnect. You're ending something because of that. It's a king on his head. Anything else on this? Nine of Cups in the reverse. Fucking wish not granted. A wish not granted. You're ending something because a wish hasn't been granted. It's like this is, it even got the goddamn genie. It's like, how many ways can you ask, Ash? I'm just going to keep telling you the same thing, Ash. Except the Nine of Cups is also about self-love, not loving oneself. Seeing one's self-worth. And the fact that a wish wasn't granted is like seeing the writing on the wall. So you keep asking for the same thing, banging your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. You keep seeing you're seeing the writing on the wall because you keep on wishing for something and it's not coming true. So you've decided to end something because you now recognize your self-worth. It's got to do with this Leo individual who seems more interested in their volatility, irrationality, and attention-seeking behavior than providing you with this thing that you want, this wish of yours that you want. What is this? I wish that they're not granting you. With that sun in the reverse, which was originally in the obstacle position. What is this wish that you want? Cancer. Sun in the reverse. Tell us, what is the sun in the reverse? King of Swords. Fucking Aquarius. Aquarius. King of Swords in the watching an Aquarius watching you. This is feeling left out in the cold by an Aquarius. Feeling left out in the cold by an Aquarius. See, Five of Pentacles. Do you know what's really fucked up? I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'm not going to personify it like it's really fucked up because there were twice in the last like 3 weeks, I have had two physical, visual manifestations in the real world of tarot cards. Like visual manifestations. I was riding the bus, and where I get off my first bus and I get onto my second bus, there's a church. It's the Church of the Nazarene, which is even more funny because that's the church that I used to go to when I was a kid to play the piano. It was right on the same street that I lived on when I was a kid, like a really small kid in Penticton. And I saw these two folks on the step of the church. And if you look at the Rider-Waite version of the Five of Pentacles, it's two folks sitting in front of a church, all like huddled up and super cold. And I was like, haha, Five of Pentacles. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I literally looked outside and I wasn't laughing at the people, but I was like, oh, look, Five Pentacles. You know what I mean? And this is somebody feeling left out in the cold. The thing that always grabs my attention here in this deck is the eye looking outside of the church, watching this person. This is, you're not exercising self-empowerment. This is a victimhood mindset. When it comes to the King of Swords, this is an intellectual man or a masculine Aquarius individual who is, they believe in right and wrong, but they're very much about the law. It could even be a lawmaker, a parole officer, a police officer, a lawyer, a judge, a magistrate, a guard, that kind of a thing. But this, what we're clarifying right now, let's get back on track, Ash, is about the sun in the reverse, feeling left out in the cold, kept in the dark, not getting your wish, not having your wish granted, is about feeling left out in the cold by an Aquarius individual, the King of Swords, somebody who has the say when it comes to the law of the land. They lay down the law, and but you're watching them, or they're watching you. Anything else on that? Okay. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. There's something about heartbreak with this. Something about heartbreak with this. It's heartbreak that was in the past. I'm hearing over on this side. Heartbreak of the past. That you just healed from, but it's fresh in your mind. It had you feeling super dramatic, though. Something about it made you feel like, or that might have been something that they made you feel like they belittled your pain. And you look at, you're like even pointing. You see how this person's pointing at the swords, like, look at me, I'm bleeding. What's that song? Or I'm bleeding. You're not crying, this is blood all over me. Devour by Marilyn Manson. And you're not crying, this is blood all over me. This is no embrace, you're baring teeth. You're not crying, this is blood all over me. He's pointing at those swords stabbed through his chest. Jesus. Somebody who didn't have any empathy. But it's like a victimhood mindset with that Five of Pentacles, right? Like, because if you think about it, most churches, well, especially when, you know, the cards were incepted, the tarot, it depicted the Five of Pentacles in a certain way because churches used to be places of sanctuary. And so people lamenting because they were out in the cold and they were so hungry and all that other stuff like that, they had the opportunity. In fact, it was their choice to let themselves into the church to warm themselves and to get something to eat, to claim sanctuary. And so it's a feeling more than a reality that being left out in the cold thing with the Five of Pentacles. It's a victimhood mindset, and it's also disempowering self-talk, right? Okay. So this moving on with the Six of Arrows or Six of Swords, what is that? I knew we were going to get into it. We went too fast before. We went too fast before. Knight of Wands. We went too fast before. You see? Fuck, I love when these readings go like this. The Knight of Wands and the upright Sagittarian energy. We went too fast before. The action was there. This is Action Jackson. This is my buddy Action Jackson. All Knights are action cards, and this guy is super inspired, super passionate, and he goes in on things like, fuck yeah, let's do it. But he can also ride out just as quickly as anything else. Ramblin' Mike. He's on YouTube. He's got lots of different things. He calls this guy the fire pony. Super passionate, right? But you're moving on because something was super passionate. You might have taken passionate action on something, but you may not have thought through all of the steps on it. You came into something super, super hot. You know, that coming in hot type thing. But now it's time to move on. It's time to leave something behind that didn't serve you because it was too passionate. It was too haughty. It was too fast moving. There's a flurry of activity, and it could easily have dissipated as quickly as it appeared. You know, it was lacking the substance. Thank you. This down here, Princess of Coins, aka Page of Coins. What is this about? This feeling of self-worth that you're waiting for the communication about your worthiness, it seems. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Seeing that there. It's like the communication of your worthiness. Let's see. Okay. Balance and equilibrium. Are you giving as much as you are taking? Sometimes you feel like you're this guy down here. Sometimes you feel like you're this guy up here. But you never feel like the two are in balance. And there's a communication. It's like you're not aware of your worth. And you're, you know, what you're not hearing are these communications about your worth. The things that people have to say about you, about your worth. That it isn't necessarily always a balance. In fact, a lot of the time it isn't a balance. It's the ebb and the flow. You either feel like one of these guys or the other, but you're not really aware of the communications about your worthiness or about how there's an importance here that you're looking for. A communication of something of worth. But you're not aware of it. You're not aware of that communication. It's not huge, but it's like it's worth something to you to hear it. What is this heartbreak in the recent past? In the recent past that you're healing from? I mean, I don't really want to clarify that for you, should we? Do we need to? Do you kind of know what it is anyway? Do I have to give voice to it for you? Do we need to go there? No. I don't think we do. But what we will do is we're going to see what the hell this is. This Leo again, right? With the Nine of Coins in the reverse. Let's talk about that feeling like you have a lack of choice when it comes to your independence. Pain. There's anger that is associated with grief. Anger that's associated with loss, abandonment, sickness, painful endings. As if you were robbed of your self-reliance. As if you were robbed of your path towards your legacy. As if you were robbed of the autonomy that you had to choose where you go, how you spend your energy, your efforts, your time, your coin. There's a righteous indignation. It's the second time I heard it for that. Righteous indignation. But it's not just anger. The anger is linked to something. The anger is a manifestation of this. It's like you finally got let out the box and you're coming out swinging. Tell me more. It's in 2 weeks' time. Tell me more for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Tell me more about that. Yeah, it's about an offer, a contract, or a beginning of something that had to do with your time, energy, efforts that did not happen. An initiation of sorts into something worth your time, money, energy, effort. Anything else? Could even been a promotion or Just something that was supposed to begin. It could have been something that happened that had a token associated with it. Knight of Cups in the reverse. It lacked romanticism. So it's supposed to be knight in shining armor in the upright Piscean energy. Something that might have Virgo season was supposed to come about. You're looking towards Virgo season for it. Getting your chip. Seeing this as the chip. But it's almost like something you got shut down on something that was supposed to be romantic and poetic, or because this guy in the upright, he's romantic, poetic. He sings all the beautiful songs to the ladies. He says all the lovely things to the ladies. He writes them poetry. He comes in with that cup and he rescues people. You weren't rescued. You weren't rescued. There's righteous indignation about that coming to the forefront in the next 2 weeks. You're coming out swinging. Remember to pay mind to how you communicate on those things. Just because you're angry and just because you deserve to be angry, because you are hurt, remember the things that you say when you're hurt and angry oftentimes can hurt other people and result in their righteous indignation, right? So you have to kind of watch that. You know how people have to go on those, they go out and they apologize for shit that they said when they were mad. Well, I was angry. I didn't really mean it. Well, you can't unring a bell, So just remember that. You can't unring a bell. I think we've kind of beat this one to death with that present energy. I'm kind of interested who's looking at you as if you're embodying this Piscean energy as somebody hanging back and observing things from all angles. Who is that? Who is that for you, Cancer? Who is viewing you right now? Oh, yeah, 3 folks. 3 different folks. Oh, okay. We have an Aries, we have a Taurus, and we have somebody who's coming out of healing. Who's done the work, done the meditation, the rest, relaxation, figuring their shit out after breaking their own heart. Somebody, if we're reading this as a sentence, it's a leader. A leader who has abandoned their philosophies and belief systems, or somebody who isn't necessarily, has witnessed the collapse of all that they believe, or is no longer linked with institutions, is a part of non-traditionalist beliefs such as meditation practices and stuff. But somebody who gives shit advice or has been party to shit advice. Somebody who's been trapped by dogma in the past. But a direct translation, you could also be dealing with an Aries, Taurus cusp individual. Because look at this. If we were just looking at one person, this is an Aries, Taurus cusp individual. Somebody who's born closer to mid-April, end of April. A leader. Extremely confident leader who's done the work on the old noggin. Okay, let's look at your outcome here. That 10 of Swords in the reverse, 10 of Arrows in the reverse, if you will. It's taken time for you to heal. In 6 months, you'll be healing, but it'll be because you took the time and you were patient with it. Because you sat back and you surveyed. Right? Tell us more. Actually, let's go card for card here. That Page of Cups. What is this communication? What is this small communication that's seemingly an apology? For Cancer. What is the Page of Cups about? What is the Page of Cups saying? Better way of putting it. What is the Page of Cups saying to Cancer? It's not like, I just was hearing kind of, it's not like the apology is what makes it better. Or whatever it is that they're saying. Queen of Swords, it's about doing what's right. Somebody's apologizing for not giving you your Ten of Cups. Not giving you that happy family, that happy home life. That lovely, you know, picture with the kids and the blue background and everything being all hunky-dory all the time. That, you know, perfect zenith of emotional fulfillment, if you will. But they're talking about how it wasn't right. This could also be the ending of a relationship because we have court, we have justice. This is the Lady Justice here. And, you know, not a happy family love life situation here. So this could actually be a court case having to do with that. But there's an emotional, small communication and apology of sorts that has to do with this, about what was fair, just, and right, and balanced. Libra energy. So we're looking towards September, mid-September to mid-October for that. Is that about 6 months out? It's not, but, you know. The truth about why, so apologizing and delivering the truth about why this wasn't such a happy home life. I think that helps you heal. And then this meditative state that you enter afterwards with the Four of Arrows or Four of Swords. What is that? Impatience and victimhood mindset. Not exercising self-empowerment. This person's just literally like, whoa, I'm gonna fall on these swords, oh no. And they're literally hurling themselves out the window. They could totally like stand on their own too and just not. But they're lamenting falling on the swords because they're going, oh my God, these swords down below me. Oh, it's so terrible. And they're the ones doing it to themselves. You're meditating on your victimhood mindset. You're meditating on self-empowerment and what it means to exercise self-empowerment, to decide not to fall on your own sword, but to go inside and put a sweet-ass outfit on and go out and walk around the swords as opposed to hurling yourself out the window onto them. And I'm not trying to make light of anybody's situation. I'm just saying this is what this card is. The Eight of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot traditionally is somebody standing there with their hands tied behind their back, surrounded by swords, but they can walk out of there anytime they want. Their feet are not tied, right? So, yeah. And again, it's an illusory energy too, the illusion coming from the moon there that person is going to fall on those swords when really they're still inside that tower. They're nowhere near in danger, but they feel like they are. So is there a bit of paranoia here? Maybe, probably. But there's impatience too. So it's almost as if there's anxiety and impatience. Your impatience puts you in precarious situations. That's a direct translation on that one. So meditating on that one might be important for you. Your impatience places you in precarious situations. It's like the person who, that's the best analogy I can think of. The person who is so set on getting married that they don't give a shit who they date. They don't give a crap who they end up with. They just want the ring and they just want to get it on. They don't even give a shit. So they're willing to date the scum of the earth just as long as somebody fucking proposes and they end up settling down and getting hitched. It doesn't matter who it is. They have zeros. And the crappy thing is that when you meditate on a concept like that, you start to realize that if the destination is more important than the journey or your travel partner, then you probably don't have a lot of self-worth. Because if you were just choosing anybody, if it was just like, oh, well, you want to be in a relationship, so let's do it. Every time that you encounter anybody who wants to be in a relationship, you probably don't have very great self-worth, right? If you're just one of those people who's like, sweet, let's date. Yeah. Anybody who wants to date me, let's date. You have to be discerning. You're allowing somebody into your home, into your energy. If you don't think for 1 second that I haven't said no, I mean, I'm not single anymore, but if you don't think for 1 second that I haven't turned people down to go on dates with, or that I didn't, just because it looks like I'm always in a relationship does not necessarily mean that I haven't told people no, or that I haven't turned people down, or that I haven't said, yeah, I don't think you and I are a good idea. Absolutely 100% I have. And it's not to say that those people that I have said that to aren't maybe great people for other people. But it's knowing who you are and understanding your worth, like I said, it doesn't mean that somebody is not worthy of somebody. And in some situations, yes, it does. But it's demanding what you think is right for you, not just, yeah. Anyway, you get where I'm going with that, right? Anyway, bottom of the deck, firm foundations, the 4 posts on the marriage bed, building a happy home, hand fasting energy, the energy of what it looks like to have firm, solid foundations with which to create, with which to inspire in one's own life and in the lives of others. Yeah. Okay. That's what I have for you. And actually, the family dwells within that, which is your guiding principle, Cancer. So everything starts with this. If you don't have this, you can't create that family. So, alrighty. That's what I have for you. We'll see you when we see you next. Do this if you like what I do. And I figured out that you can actually set things so that people can't see what you subscribe to. So if you're worried about subscribing to stuff that people who see that you subscribe to tarot and all other shit like that, change your settings and then subscribe to me if you like what I do. Okay? All right. We'll see what we see you next. Be good, Taurus. Oh, Cancer. You're dealing with a Taurus. You must be. Anyway, bye for now.